Greetings to all my fellow agate lovers out there. Are you ready for another slabbing video? Well, let's take this rock and get some slabs off of it. Why this rock? Well, check it out. I found this out at the Pigmon Ranch near Balmorhea, Texas. It was broken when I got to it. I got to see what was inside. Obviously, lots of quartz, some beautiful banding, maybe some mossiness there, and then this center section of this dark chalcedony. You see more banding there. Well, what else to do with this rock other than get some slabs off of it? I think the slabs will be beautiful, even with all that quartz right there. I'm not sure how I'm going to slab it just yet. I may actually hold it like this in the clamp and go this way. I don't know. I usually figure that out when I'm in front of the slab saw. Well, regardless, we're going to get it slabbed. Will they be beautiful? Let's find out. Let me get this in the shop, get it on the saw, make a few slabs, and then I'll bring them back in here and I'll show you what they look like. Check it out, the slabbing's all finished. Did we get a good agate? Let's start as usual with this little end cut right here. Can we tell anything? Not really. There's a little banding there, some dirty quartz. That's a throwaway. How about this first slab? What do we see here? Yep, the same banding and the same dirty quartz. Ooh, well, that's kind of pretty right there. That shade of blue. I like where this is going. Let's see the next slab. Just tremendous amount of quartz, but a little bit of that fine banding as well. And if you look really closely, you can start to see those little tiny specks within the banding. That's fun. And this side, interesting. I like looking at the outer skin and then the banding that lies right beneath it. I find that interesting. Let's keep going. Ooh, now we're getting somewhere. Look at this. That's really pretty banding. And there's something coming into view right there. Let's turn it over. Ooh. More of this dirty quartz right here. Notice the banding now. We've got both blue and brown in there. Okay. And this one's a thinner slab. I was playing around with the thickness of these slabs, and you're going to see more of that here in a minute. Whoa, look at that right there. Do you know what that is? I believe that's pluming right there. Yep. I noticed that, which is why I started playing around with the slice thickness, hoping to really get to see and enjoy that. You can sort of see it. This is looking like a pretty interesting rock. Let's keep going. Back to a thicker slab this time. Ooh, I like that. It is some sort of pluming. I can see it in there. I hope you can as well. Notice that blue banding right there. Isn't that really beautiful? I think I could make a cabochon out of what I'm seeing down here. A small cab, but a beauty. Okay, ooh, now we're getting to the interesting slabs here. This one was sort of a medium thickness. Oh, I just love that stuff in there. Let's look at it in the proper orientation, like a plant growing, with a blue rainbow above it. Quartz, and then whatever this little chunk of chalcedony is supposed to be. Yeah, this is a really pretty slab right here. I hope you agree. That is gorgeous. I just love the way that grows in there, those forms. I thought, let's make a really, really thin slice next. So when I cut it, it unfortunately broke, but you can still see some more detail in there, I think. Yeah, it's really thin there. And let's see, this is another piece of that. So this one's pretty thin, right? Maybe 2 mils, maybe 1.5 mils. Yeah, I love that stuff. Yep. I like how we see it's brown right there and clearly blue right there. Well, I got even a little crazier and I tried to make some ultra thin slabs. So that is, well, probably 1 millimeter or less. But it gives you a really good view of what that growth looks like in there, that pluming. Unfortunately, these are just very fragile. As you can see, they did not hold up very well. There's a little tiny sliver there. Little tiny sliver there. Yeah, paper thin. It's nice that the saw can do this. It's unfortunate that the stone couldn't handle it. What have we got left? Let's take a look. All right, now here you can see a little bit of everything. The mossiness or pluming was right over in here. It's not as obvious with the dark background. Then we had our blue banded chalcedony, our quartz, our dirty quartz, our brown chalcedony. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this piece. Time to grade this one. What do we think? This is a fun agate right here. I got to say, I know it's an odd shape, and as far as being useful in the shop, I don't know, maybe. I know I could get a cab right in here, sure. But all this quartz, well, I'm just not a huge quartz fan. So taking all of that into consideration, for a grade, I think we should give this agate, I'm going to give it a good grade. I'm going to give this a B+. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I sure appreciate it. I hope you like this one. It's turned out to be a really interesting agate. I just love finding pluming inside these things. Yep. Heck, I love it so much. I'll even put up with all that nasty quartz. Just kidding. For all you quartz lovers out there, there's nothing wrong with quartz. I give it a hard time, but mostly in jest. Actually, mostly because it's just harder to work with in the shop, trying to make cabs and tumbling and what have you. I just prefer the chalcedony version of the same chemical, I know, silicon dioxide, but I prefer this to that. You know, I like the crystals to cool quickly and not have time to form versus when they have lots of time to form those quartz patterns. Well, enough of my rambling on about that. Once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And don't forget to check my other videos for more like this.